The Atlanta Falcons have officially hit rock bottom, and there's no way to sugarcoat it. Losing 5 straight games is one thing, but dropping back-to-back heartbreakers at home, both in overtime, tells a story of a team unraveling in real time. This latest loss wasn't just frustrating, it was humiliating. The Falcons were up 21-7, dominating early, and yet they still managed to collapse. And not just collapse, but collapse against Bryce Young, a quarterback who, up until this point, had been underwhelming. Somehow, Atlanta gave him the best performance of his career, 450 yards through the air. Let that sink in. That's not just a defensive breakdown, that's a systemic failure. Let's analyze together what happened with the Falcons, but first click the like button and tell me, in your opinion, who is responsible for the outcome the Falcons had. I want to know what you think about it. Let's call it like it is. This team is not being led properly. Fans are booing, and rightfully so. The stadium atmosphere is toxic, and the pressure is mounting on Terry Fontenot and Arthur Smith. If they don't act soon, jobs will be lost, starting with defensive coordinator Raheem Morris and offensive coordinator Zach Robinson. The heat is real, and it's deserved. The game plan is uninspired, the adjustments are non-existent, and the team lacks accountability. It's the same mistakes week in and week out, and fans are tired of watching a roster with this much talent implode. And there is talent. That's what makes this so maddening. On defense, they stopped the run effectively, limiting Rico Dowdle on the ground. But the secondary? A disaster. Natron Brooks had a nightmare outing. First, he got burned badly by Xavier Legette for a touchdown, absolutely torched. Then, on the very next play, not the next drive or quarter, but the very next play, he fumbles the kickoff. That's back-to-back disasters in a matter of seconds. That's how you lose games. That's how you go from 21-7 to panic mode. And yet, Brooks kept getting snaps. Why? Kobe Bryant should be playing every down. He brings toughness, heart, and resilience, qualities this team sorely lacks. Now, there were bright spots. Caden Ellis continues to shine and needs a contract extension immediately. James Pierce Jr. is showing flashes of becoming a dominant force, and Jalen Walker is steadily improving. A.J. Terrell had solid moments despite a few completions allowed. This defense isn't completely broken, but when it matters most, they fail to make plays. And that's the theme, right when it's time to step up, something always goes wrong. Offensively, it's a roller coaster. Bijan Robinson was spectacular, again. 2 touchdowns, explosive runs, incredible vision, he's a superstar. Drake London? Dominant, averaging 17 yards per catch. Michael Penix Jr. played with heart and grit, throwing darts before going down with an injury. And then came Kirk Cousins, veteran, experienced, and completely ineffective. Couldn't finish the job. Couldn't even stabilize the offense. And for all the talk from the coaching staff about running the same system for both quarterbacks, it's clear as day that the offense looks completely different depending on who's under center. Michael Penix Jr. operates in a gimmicky system with quick outs and scripted reads. When Cousins is in, it's a more traditional pro-style attack. So what's the truth? Why are they protecting Cousins with real schemes and handicapping Penix with simplified packages? Is it because he's a lefty? That would be ridiculous, but the results speak for themselves. And here's the kicker, Penix, despite his youth, is already the better quarterback. The arm talent, the mobility, the upside, it's all there. But none of it matters when the offense around him is collapsing. Receivers like Darnell Mooney are dropping catchable balls. Kyle Pitts, once a generational talent at tight end, is practically invisible. It's inexcusable. You have a weapon like Bijan and refuse to build around him with consistency. You're going to waste the best years of his career. And if this continues, don't be surprised when he asks out. He's too good to be part of a rebuild disguised as contention. And then there's the coaching. Week after week, it's the same story. Good teams find ways to win. Bad teams find ways to lose. And this team? They specialize in the latter. The Bears played terribly this week and still pulled off a win. Meanwhile, Atlanta played one of their better halves of football all season and still lost. There's no way to dress that up. That's failure from the top down. The likelihood of a coaching change is now sky high. If anyone goes first, it's Zach Robinson. His offensive play calling is inconsistent, and his system clearly isn't being executed the same way for both quarterbacks. There's no identity, there's no rhythm, and most importantly, there's no accountability. The fans see it, the players know it, the media is calling it out. The front office has a choice to make fast. So now I'll throw it to you, Falcons fans. Was this the last straw? Is it finally time to clean house and hit the reset button before this season slips completely into irrelevance? What do you think needs to happen next? Because if something doesn't happen now, then when? We're not just watching a team lose games, we're watching a team fall apart emotionally, physically, and mentally. The cracks are no longer beneath the surface. They're everywhere, on the sidelines, in the locker room, in the pressers, and most importantly, in the way this team plays in the second half of football games. You can't be up 21-7 and lose unless you are actively crumbling under pressure. That's exactly what's happening. Let's go back to the quarterbacks for a second, because this matters. Michael Penix Jr., despite the lack of experience, brings a level of explosiveness that Kirk Cousins just doesn't have at this stage in his career. When Penix is on, the ball comes out with velocity, touch, and precision. The hip rotation, the body mechanics, the timing, it's all elite when he has time. And yet, we're left wondering why this staff insists on calling an entirely different offense for him. If you're telling us every week that it's the same scheme, why does it look so drastically different? Penix gets the screens and rollouts, while Cousins stands in the pocket with full reads and timing routes. It doesn't make sense. And this coaching staff continues to pretend like we're not seeing the disparity with our own eyes. That's why fans are done listening. That's why the booing started. That's why the patience is gone. You can't insult the intelligence of a fan base that's this passionate and loyal. Falcons fans know football. They've seen great quarterback play, elite rushing attacks, and dominating defenses. What they're watching now is not Atlanta football. It's a poorly written drama unfolding week by week. The tragedy here is that it doesn't have to be this way. The roster isn't lacking star power. Bijan Robinson is a franchise cornerstone. Drake London is a legit WR1. The offensive line, when healthy, is capable of holding its own. And on defense, the pass rush is improving. James Pierce Jr. looks like the real deal. Jalen Walker is playing smarter and faster every week. A.J. Terrell, despite the inconsistency, remains a top-tier corner. But it all falls apart when the team can't execute situational football. Look at third downs. Look at red zone opportunities. Look at clock management. That's where great coaching matters. That's where this team loses games. It's not just the turnovers or the missed tackles, it's the inability to deliver when it counts. And when a team repeatedly fails in the biggest moments, that's a reflection of leadership. Period. And leadership is what this team is missing most. The culture is fractured. The morale is low. And that feeling you get when you're watching, like a pit in your stomach when the other team starts to build momentum, that's not normal. That's what it feels like to root for a team that doesn't know how to close. That's what it feels like to root for a team that expects to lose. You can feel it in the body language. You can feel it in the play calling. It's as if they're waiting for things to go wrong. And the worst part is, we've seen this before. This isn't a new problem. This is a continuation of a cycle that started long before this season. The faces change, the names change, but the results stay the same. The Falcons build leads. The Falcons blow leads. The Falcons lose. Lather, rinse, repeat. This city deserves better. The fans deserve better. The players, especially the young stars who are giving it everything they've got, deserve better. Bijan deserves better. Penix deserves better. Hell, even the veterans like Cousins, who came here thinking this was a real shot at competing, deserve better. And if Arthur Smith can't deliver that, if Terry Fontenot can't build a coaching staff that maximizes talent and executes under pressure, then yes, blow it up. Because if you're not serious about winning, you're just wasting time. You're wasting the prime of a once-in-a-generation running back. You're burning out your quarterback before he even gets a chance to develop. And you're alienating a fan base that's been through enough heartbreak. At this point, change isn't just necessary. It's inevitable. The only question left is whether it happens soon enough to salvage the season, or if this year will just be another entry in the long list of Atlanta what-could-have-beens. Because we've seen enough. The talent is there. The energy is there. The desire is there. The results? Nowhere to be found. Falcons fans, make your voices heard. What do you want to see happen next? Drop a comment, let it out, because we'll be watching this unfold together every painful step of the way. And if you want these breakdowns raw and unfiltered, the second they drop, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Drop a like if you feel what we're saying, and smash that bell so you don't miss a second of what's coming next. Go Falcons!